What to watch? Let's see. Making of the race of scrapbooking. Yeah, why not?
Is it my turn?
To something very exciting.
Okay, well, let me clear some space here.
Can't wait to see your page.
As you all know, I do a lot of work with the homeless children all over the world, and I spend most of the year traveling and helping. So I was inspired this year by all of the children that I saw that, you know, don't have enough food and wear dirty diapers and have snotty noses. So anyway, this is my page. And I hope it touches your heart like it touched mine.
I think my first thoughts on Missy's page were sadness. I felt really bad for those kids. And it's not just because the picture came out of a magazine and the photographer had taken a picture of a really sad kid. It was because she had put the picture of a really sad kid on a piece of paper, set it to a color scheme, and let that speak for itself.
So this is wonderful. This is your idea, of course.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering because these letters look an awful lot like the colors of the beads of my purse, which is interesting.
Because your beads are very childlike, and there is something very childlike about these letters. Yeah.
What font is that?
Let me see. I don't really remember.
That's the Feed the Children font.
Oh,
What
maybe that's calligraphy fun, I think.
Times New Roman.
Oh, you're right. It is Times New Roman. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, Times New Roman.
Yeah.
Good for you, Monty. Scrap lifting. When you take someone else's great scrap idea and you scrap it yourself and call it your own.
I don't even think I can talk about this. I'm just gonna let it sit.
So I'm sure it's the most depressing of all the entries, but I think it's important. Oh.
I've got a depressing entry.
Oh.
I've got an entry that's really depressing, actually.
Okay. Well.
Kind of makes the blood boil. That's the kind of entry I got.
Okay.
My page is based on a little something that happened during our encounter. Okay? Something that upset me, something that got me quite angry, and I haven't quite gotten over it, and I just don't know if I ever will. So my theme page this year is this.
Missy is a cheater.
That's right. She cheated on her scrap theme page with her homosexual assistant.
What?
That's right. He looked at my beads and he pointed at my beads and he said something to her that was like, that should be good for your theme. And so why else is there, are there those colors on her theme page? And also, how come you know the fonts?
Just because I know the fonts make me a homosexual?
Whatever.
He knows the fonts
You helped her
because
out.
He knows the fonts because he keeps a list
Because
of
I keep a
everything
list
I
of everything,
do.
and I keep a backup list in
Oh,
my
yeah?
back.
I don't like where this is going.
I know what it's like to be insecure, and I know what it's like to lash out. And I'm not going to say that I'm a genius, but I am going to say that I'm willing to bet a lot of people thought Gandhi was gay, or thought the Wright brothers were gay, before they started to understand what they were trying to do.
The first thing I noticed on that page was I noticed that Molly had put herself on that page. And then I noticed on the bottom it said, "Shame on you." Now, it was pictures, so it wasn't going like that. Didn't have that movement, which is where I felt her imagery was a little confusing. But I got the message immediately.
I'm not a cheater.
Oh, please.
Molly, those are some
This was all
really,
me.
really
Would you
heavy.
just stay out of it, Paula?
I would-
Jeez. Okay, you're baking pastries.
Okay, okay.
You're baking pastries, and that's not even in the
okay.
rules.
Molly's kind of like a machine gun. You just set it off and drop it in the middle of a table full of people, and you don't know who's going to get hit and what the damage is going to be.
And I think this should win.
Oh, I don't have to take this, Monty.
You guys should not vote on your emotions right now. You should
No.
vote on artwork and truth.
And in the spirit of true scrapping, You're not supposed to be mean to people.
Missy, of course, is one of the foremost scrapbookers we have in our collective. And the very idea that she would do such a thing is preposterous. I'm going to black that out, as I do, I would say, 35% of my life experiences. And just remember that we were having a wonderful time, and then something happened, and we had to go, and we had a lovely dinner.
Well, Molly, I was so interested in what you were going to bring to this table.
Thank you.
But this is really, there's no room for this at Scrappapalooza, and I'm gonna have to go ahead and ask you to leave. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Asking someone to leave is probably the hardest thing I ever had to do. Or put down our Newfoundland. But one of those two were it was definitely up there.
Also taking my stamps and my ribbons.
Those are your
Steven,
stamps.
you're leaving.
That's okay.
That stamp that belongs to us.
Memories? Excuse me. These are mine.
You didn't even have any
Pack this
stamps.
car up. We're leaving, okay?
But this is the last.
Put it in the car, Steven. We're leaving. I was gonna give you all a couple of pages from my scrapbook, but I'm not gonna do that anymore.
I'm a little upset that Scrappapalooza didn't go as planned for Molly, because I was really hoping that next year I'd be able to go back, and it would be at a convention hall or something. And something tells me that we're not ever going back to Scrappapalooza.
Is everything okay?
Take me home.
Okay.
I want to go home right now.
Okay.
The ride home was long. Steven was very, very comforting. But it just didn't help because I was kicked out by one of the most creative and innovative scrappers out there, Paula Worthington. It's gonna take a long time for me to be able to call her up and ask her what kind of supplies she's using these days. Thanks for watching that episode! Now all you have to do is click on the next one because the journey continues and gets scrappier.